Alright, so this video is going to be a little different. This is what we're calling a boss battle. So this was GN's idea. He saw it over, I think, Ecobaronen, and I am level 1. We're doing it for vintage content. He liked it so much that he asked me to do a boss battle against him. So I like to think we're the two content creators, English speaking ones, that probably appear most in top eights of Pauper Challenges. So we're probably the best to show this thing off. So what we're doing is playing matches, 3 matches of 3 different decks each, just to show like the diversity of the format, like, and I don't know, show how we play each of these decks, which gives me a different chance because I'm always playing these silly off kilter decks, right? So I actually get to play like 3 decks that you will see like in the top 10 of MTG Goldfish, right? Which you may not usually see from me. So this will be interesting and we'll see how it goes. So first up, we have blue white affinity. So I decided to go with this one, or blue white glitters, I should say. So I decided to go with this one because it just feels very smooth. Uh, just you have your game plan of all that glitters on Gingerbrute or Ornithopter, and from there you just win, right? So the rest of the deck it just complements that game plan, which is either drawing cards through Thraben Inspector, Moon Circuit Hacker, Of One Mind, and Thoughtcast, or just filling the board with threats, be it Frogmite, Mirror Enforcer, Gingerbrute, and then you just protect whatever creature you've put all the glitters on with Metallic Rebuke, and that's pretty much the deck, right? So you pretty much just dump your hand, try and draw cards, pull up on all that glitters, and counter whatever they do to stop that. Um, Pretty much all there is to it. So running all artifact lands except for 2 islands because we need more blue because of all these draw card spells. Uh, I don't really know what else to say. I think I like this version over Affinity over Jesco just because the mana base is nicer. So you're not running as many tap lands, so you're a bit faster. Uh, like, what does red add? Red adds Synth plus Glint Hawk, which is a nice, like, card draw engine. It sort of works better than these, but it just, I don't know, it's a little bit slower, and I just want the aggression that this provides. For the sideboard, we've got red and black protection. Just gives you more ways of protecting other than just Metallic Rebuke. 3 Dust to Dust for any artifact deck. Gear Seeker Serpent for decks with a lot of like low cost sweepers would be my guess. Just lets you like things without cast down, right? So it just gives you another way of putting out a big threat quickly. Blow Mental Blast. There's a lot of red decks. Just having some prevention of that, and Relic for Graveyard Hate for probably Ephemerate Loop decks, Cycle Storm, Dredge if anyone plays it. So yeah, that is glitters, and we'll see what we go up against, what GN is going to play. All right, match 1, which is glitters. I did not know what I actually put on this, what I joined with. So we're, I guess we'll keep. This hand isn't great because we have no card draw, and I think the 3 decks they've got run a lot of removal. So I'm gonna have to try and pretty much just like. So this is gonna be a turn 3. A turn 3 glitters and protect it with rebuke. Hopefully they just don't hit like double removal spell. Like, it depends. Black. So, I'm not entirely sure what deck they're playing, to be honest. Oh, blue, black, Fae. So that means they could have a snuff out, which I can try and play around. So we'll just play another Ginger Brute. Yep. Okay, so cycle. So now it's a little bit risky because I'm not going to have Rebuke up when I can't see all the glitters. I keep one on top. Springleaf Drum. Doesn't really help. I think I'm going to... Do I just pass? I sort of want to keep up Metallic Rebuke. If I do, I'm like very heavily telegraphing it though. But I've got two, so I may as well keep it up, right? Like, I doubt they're going to block with the Fairy Seer, but I don't want to risk it. I think that's fine. Yeah, they got Spell Stutter up. So now I have issues with a lot of things. So I can Glitters. They have a removal spell. I'm done. But I can still take a turn off to counter the... They've only got 2 cards left. Well, let's try it. Yeah, okay. So now we... So they don't get hit. So Ninja. Alright, cool. So I gotta hope that they don't have a snuff out. Which they do, okay. And now I've got another all the glitters, and now I'm pretty much gone. So they're down to 1 card. Wasn't really much I could do. Mirroring Mystic is annoying. I probably should have counted that. Yeah, okay. And I drew all the glitters. I just didn't draw any creatures. So I think that was fine. There is nothing really for this matchup in my sideboard. Could bring in Gear Seeker 7. I don't think it's worth it. I think I just run it back. Oh, Obsidian Acolyte, actually. Might be worth it. Take out one Frogmite. One of one mind. Yeah, this deck doesn't like playing against Snuff Out. Alright, yes, we'd like to go first. This is... okay, we can keep this. So I've got card draw. So I think we still, like, lead off with Ginger Brute. So I can get a couple of chips in. 1, 2, 3. There's a Rebuke. But I want to be able to Thoughtcast next turn, so we'll just... I don't think there's any point keeping up Rebuke just yet. Alright, Thoughtcast is pretty good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means we can Thoughtcast. Inspector. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot cast this Mirror Enforcer. I'll attack in. I might keep up Rebuke. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So I will Thoughtcast. Counterspell. Yeah, I'll counter it. I'd like to draw 2 cards. Acolyte's pretty good, but we'll just double Enforcer because they can't stop it now. But now if they're Murmuring Mystic, it's not great for me. They're not going to. Cool. Yeah, so the reason I was keeping up Metallic Rebuke is because I didn't want to like get drowned in sorrowed with all these... They probably don't run it when they're fairies anyway. I don't know what sideboard he's got. But I feel that now that I've managed to resolve 2 Mirror Enforcers, that it shouldn't matter too much. So they might have a Fumes. So I think I'll attack first. Come back, Ornithopter. Just a Snuff Out. Okay. Down to 5. I can cast that. They may have Counterspell. They may have Fumes. think I'm just going to pass. Cool. So I'll attack again. Going decay. Well, at least I saved a ginger brute. So now we can play this acolyte. Which gets counterspelled. So we'll of one mind. Until I'll just play this ginger brute. Yeah, I'll counter it. It's a little awkward. But they're struggling to do things, so... Well, the Ornithopter's doing nothing. Sweet. Alright, cool. Well, we won that one. Mainly off the back of them not hitting any fairies. So maybe of one mind is actually pretty good here. Like, maybe I don't need 2/2s. Maybe I just want more card draw. Yeah, so he's just died to snuff out, so... Yeah, we'll just try this. Nothing explosive, but seems fine. Just always turn one Ginger Bruton. That's also pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm still going to Ginger Brute. And then I may just Ginger Brute into Moon Circuit Hacker. May just Moon Circuit Hacker, actually. Ooh, if I get Fumes, how bad's it going to be for me? Got 2 on top. Well, maybe I just try and dump as much stuff as I can. So now I can go Springleaf Drum into Frogmite into worth resolving a thought cast. I think we Ginger Brute, then we attack with both, and then we Ninja whichever one they don't block, which they're not going to block either. But they might snuff out the Ninja. Cool. Alright, we draw a card. Yes, please. Our tap land's okay. Augur Bolus is pretty good. That stops my Moon Circuit Hackers from getting in. And they should still have whatever they scryed on top. So it's a preordain. So they should cast that because they shouldn't have much else to do. Alright, well, let's thought cast. Into Inspector. Guess I can just play this Ornithopter. I guess I just make this can't be blocked. Attack for 1. Hold up Metallic Rebuke, because I've cast like 2 every game so far. Make them think I've got it. One of them is pretty helpful here because they stop the ninjas from getting through. Well, the fairies to turn into ninjas. Okay, that's pretty handy, but I should try and keep that for a... what do you call it? Like an Echoing Decay, or just some sort of removal spell. So I think it's just time to keep chipping in with the Ginger Brute. Pass. I'll just keep up Rebuke and Clue Crack. Brainstorm's fine. Mid-second hack is a little useless at this point in time. Okay, it shuffles away all the garbage. Keeps up Spell Stutter. It's not great. That's pretty good. Am I willing to use a counterspell on it? On the Spell Stutter? I guess so. Okay, well, didn't really get me much, did it? Guess I just play an Ancient Den, play a Ginger Brute, and then keep chipping in. I can tank with these. And then I still have up Metallic Rebuke. Sure. Take 3. Play an Ornithopter. And let's see what happens. Germag. Could counter it, but I think I'm fine. That just means I can't start chipping in with... Yeah, it's fine. See, the Sonar does nothing. So we'll just keep making the Ginger Brutes unblockable. So now they're down to 10. Cast down. Yeah, sure. Well, I can't counter it, so sure. Brainstorm. Use it, sure. I've got to keep the Rebuke for trying to save my Ginger Brute against removal spell. If I draw a Glitters. I can take that one. Reinforce is okay. Alright, we'll just make this unblockable. Counterattack him with all these Augur of Bolus around. Try Mirror Enforcer. Cool. I'll keep all this stuff in hand. I think that's fine. I can't really get through anywhere with the Gomag Anglers, so... Alright, and I think they've got me here, because they'll probably have a spell stutter. Or a counter spell, yeah, and that just completely destroys me. Nice. Alright, I can't see myself getting out of this one. I can block that. Alright, I'll pass. And I might be able to get a... If they have nothing, I might be able to get a Glitters onto this. Yeah. Counterspell. Yep. Well, that gets me. Yes. Probably. We'll see what we see what we can do. And there it is. Too many turns too late. The counterspell and GG. Oh, All right. Round one loss. I think my issue, like maybe I wasn't aggressive enough, but I just did not hit the glitters. Right. I mean, sure, they probably had a counter spell or a removal spell to deal with it at the time, but the fact that I couldn't pressure them with it at all, and then I just died to the Arms of Adar, wasn't fantastic, but it is what it is. That's what happens. All right, so for match two, I'm bringing Golgari Gardens. So I've played a decent amount of black decks on this channel, actually. I've played Mono Black Control, I've played Black Food, I've played a decent amount of just other random, like, Cauldron Familiar based decks. But now I'm playing the arguable best control deck in the format, which is Gardens. So it's pretty much just a black control deck that utilizes Kalni Garden to get a free creature, which you can sacrifice with Deadly Dispute, Fanatical Offering, and Reckoner's Bargain, which we don't run anymore because now we've got Fanatical Offering. And uses that green mana to have access to the initiative, and the deck just tries to win with overrunning people with emblems, right? So either drawing a pile of cards with Thorn, going down the dungeon with Avenging Hunter, and if they've run out of removal, we just play a Troll of Khazad-dûm and start beating them down with a 6/5 that's hard to block. Oh, and the other one conditions crit rats, obviously. So you can just, if you've gained some life with Lembas and whatnot, you can just keep pinging them. Well, we can't keep pinging them, but you can do like a sweep effect with that. I've played a lot of Crit Rats on the channel. You should know what Crit Rats does. So only 19 lands in this deck, but we're running 4 cycle lands, so it's not too bad. We're running 4 of these because it gives us access to the green if we need it for Avenging Hunter, and also Witch's Cottage if we need to get back Crit Rats or an Avenging Hunter or something. Usually just brings back a Troll. Usually Troll cycles for Witch's Cottage. Witch's Cottage comes into play, Troll goes back on top. Which is a cool enough pale pattern, but yeah, it's a decent threat for a 6-drop. So this version is the Defile version. So I like the Defile version just for having 1 mana instant speed interaction. It's like the only decent black 1-drop one there is, except you just have to skew your mana base to have a lot of swamps. Which, this deck runs 1 Bojuka Bog, which is a nice utility land, but I'm not a big fan of it in a Defile list because it just gives you another tap land that doesn't add to the Defile. Especially if you like hit Kalni Garden plus Bojuka Bog, then you've got this is pretty useless. Yeah, so maybe should cut this for a swamp sometimes. I don't know how useful this card is. A couple of Blood Fountain to bring back your creatures. You don't have that many threats, so you do need a way to recur them. That's where you got Witch's Cottage and 2 Blood Fountain. It's also, the Blood Token gives you sacrifice fodder for all your dispute effects, which is handy, and you do end up drawing a lot of lands in the end game, especially if you've got the Monarchy, so having just a way to loot one of them away is also handy with the Blood Token. Then your removal effects. So we're running 4 Cast Down, 4 Tithing Blade, run Tithing Blade. We also run 1 Chainer's Edict. Chainer's Edict's nice because it's got card advantage built into it with the flashback. We run... It is an extra Tithing Blade. We're running the whole 4 Tithing Blade because it gives you an artifact to leave behind to sack to the Deadly Dispute. It's also a win condition. I'm not too high on the other side of Tithing Blade. It doesn't do too much, and I'd prefer to leave my creatures in the graveyard half the time just to bring back with Blood Fountain, but it's still an option there if you need it. 2 Spinning Darkness. Running... So that's also the good part about like Tithing Blade, is the fact that this is easier to turn on for free because you have more black things that you can have in your graveyard. We're running this over Snuff Out as our free spell of choice because we just need more life gain in this deck against the red decks, and we do not want to be paying 4 life for a Snuff Out. And we got enough black cards that this is easy enough to turn on. Unlike blue-black fairies, where they don't have that many black cards in their graveyards, it's mostly going to be blue cards, so that's why they got to run Snuff Out. Next up, we'll talk about Lembas. So, speaking of life gain, we need some amount. Lembas is good because it shovels back in. That's just half of it, but the fact that it replaces itself. So scry 1, draw a card's pretty good. You can sack to draw 3 life. You can gain 3 life, which is pretty handy if you really need it. Otherwise, you're mainly just going to keep it around to sack to a Deadly Dispute and draw 2 cards. Running 1 Ink or Wellspring, just as you've got all these effects to sacrifice to draw cards. So it's not, it doesn't do as much as the others do. So that's why there's only one of. It used to be the king, but Lembas is now arguably better just because it gives you that chance to gain 3 life rather than drawing you a card on sack. So just running a 1 of. This could be something else, but we just need to hit a high enough density of rocks in play to sacrifice to the card draw spells. And we are running Void Lead Dispute, 3 Fanatic Offering. The reason we're running Fanatical Offering over Reckoner's Bargain is because we do not have that many things with high mana cost. So Fanatical Offering is preferred because it just gives you another thing to sacrifice to a Deadly Dispute or Fanatical Offering, right? Just gives you another artifact to hang around. It's also relatively handy, the map token. You can sack it to put on a garden token, a plant token, to be able to give it a +1/+1 counter to try and steal the Monarchy if that opportunity arises. It's happened against me a decent amount of time, so it'll be nice if I have to try and do it for myself for a change. Crypt Rat Sweeps. I think I talked about all these. Like these are your win conditions. Avenging Hunter, as soon as it resolves, if they can't steal the initiative back, this card just kills people. And Thorn, if you've watched some of my videos and people play turn 4 Thorn and I just go, yep, well, I can't do anything about it, then you just gain too much advantage and it steamrolls you. So that's the main deck. Sideboard running 4 GRS for the non-creature matchups. We'll be siding out creature removal. We need to put in something. So like Turbo Fog and stuff like that. Drown in Sorrow for when we need more sweepers. Sometimes 3 Crypt Rats isn't enough. So like White Weenie and whatnot, you want the Drown in Sorrows and Mono Red. Speaking of Mono Red, Weatherstorm for all those burn decks when you need just that little bit more life gains than what Lembas can give you. Glamour for artifact decks, so mainly glitters. So you can stop them early by trying to shuffle in a tap indestructible land, or you can use it on a Ginger Brood if they're managed to get the glitters out early. This is pretty easy deck for glitters to. This deck is pretty good against glitters just because of the amount of removal, but sometimes it's just helpful to have more. And 2 Nihil Spellbomb because apparently I like having Graveyard Hate, and Nihil Spellbomb just we want to keep our graveyard, so we don't want Relic, so Nihil Spellbomb but for that. Alright, yeah, that's Gardens. Let's see how it goes against GN. Alright, round 2. This time I'm on Gardens. At least I know what I picked this time. Have a Defiled Deadly Dispute, Fanatical Offering. This is probably not great. I guess I can keep because I'm on the draw, but I really need something to sacrifice. They're on red, eh? Maybe I should have kept up Defile. Oh, they're on Bully. Should have kept the Bajuka Bog then. Land. Okay, well, that's okay. But the fact that I still have nothing to Daily Dispute's not great. Alright, so I get to draw some cards. I may just Defile this now. So now they get to discard some cards. Battle Screech into Garrison. Another card draw spell. I may need to find something to actually sacrifice. Where's the Colony Garden? A Squadron Hawk. Alright, we'll kill one. Something? There we go. Alright, I think I'm going to Deadly Dispute this blood token now. Now I'm just going to Lembus. I do not need this. I need a sweeper is what I need. Crypt Rats, come to me, please. They just Battle Screech into Battle Screech into Battle Screech. Alright. Need a Crypt Rats. Sooner rather than later, please. I can cycle to Troll, but that doesn't really help. I am just dead if they go land into Rally. I'll just pass. I might just have to Fanatical Offering. Can't block. Just gonna Rally. Yep. And flash it back. I don't think there's anything I can do. Yep. You got me. And sometimes the opponent just doesn't have it. So Draenosaurus comes in. And same with Nihil Spellbomb, because they have a lot of things that matter about the graveyard. So we take out the Chainer's Edict. Take out one Thorn. Might take out a Tithing Blade, actually. Take out a... is Thorn good? I think Thorn's good, and they might be running the Monarchy. I need to keep all of these because they're lands. Probably don't need Avenging Hunter. I think I just need to resolve one of these, and I'm pretty good. So I could take out Cast Down, I guess. Defile's going to be doing the same thing. And at least with Tithing Blade, I can... yeah, so I can take out Spot Removal because I've got all these sweepers, right? And I think that'll do. No sweepers again, but we've got Spell Bomb into stuff. So I think I just start with a Colony Garden. Alright, and we'll just Tithing Blade away the Inspector. Squatty. Play Nihil Spellbomb. And pass. Cracking the Clue. Interesting. Didn't hit a land. I'll keep the Tithing Blade. I'll get rid of the plant. It's not doing anything. That is fine. No, I wish I got rid of the Tithing Blade. Alright, well, I might as well draw a card. Get rid of these Sacred Cats. Cannot defile now. So just Blood Fountain. And pass. So the goal's going to be to defile into Spinning Darkness. Lunarch Veteran. Sure. So they got double creature. Okay, so I think I still defile Inspector. We'll cycle this. I'll get Witch's Cottage. So I can play this, play Colony Garden, and then can shoot the Squadron Hawk, which I probably should now in case they draw a Journey to Nowhere. I mean, a one land to be able to Prismatic Strands. I guess I take a second Lembas. Crit Rats is what we want. I don't want to play it just yet. I'll pitch a land. There's a Defile. No, I won't attack in. Alright, well, we went in this one because they drew no lands. Cool, alright. So that means I can just pretty much Crypt Rats, sweep for one, Witch's Cottage, put it on top. So we Crypt Rats. We hold control. We do it for one. And then we sack it. So that should sweep board clean. We will put the Crypt Rats back on top. And get in there. And now I've got another sweeper if I need it. Lightning Bolt is sort of handy with the Thorn. Alright, we'll just kill this now. Because I'm going to try to slam this troll of 3, 4, 5, 6. So slam this troll so I can start actually doing some damage. Journey, okay, I don't even have a sack outlet. So goodbye, troll. Cat comes back. And Squadron Hawk. Okay, so we'll gain 2 life. 3 life. So why not? Thinking. I'm just going to drown in sorrow. I don't need the thorn. 5. Plan Avenging Hunter. So now the clock is back on. Well, things for the graveyard. It's pretty good. Paddle Screech. Yeah. No Prismatic Strands, though. Yeah, we'll just forge up Avenging Hunter. Attack with the team. I'll do it for 2. Then we'll play the troll. And hopefully that should pretty much kill them. Well, probably still be another couple of turns, though. Considering how much life they keep gaining. Look at all this life. Alright, sweet. Okay, I think we're fine with what we did. Like, maybe I should have this Avenging Hunter in. But I think taking out spot removal for sweepers is the correct option. And I think having your hand clog with, like, 4+ drops is not good. So I think taking 1 out just to keep in a cast down is probably correct. So we'll just run it back. Maybe Nihil Spellbomb's not really worth it, but at least it gives me more things to sacrifice. Yeah, we got the sweeper, so we can keep this. Mountain. So we'll just tap lane pass. Expecting a Squadron Hawk. Oh, Thrilling Discovery, sure. Yep. Witch's Cottage isn't great. We just pass. No use using a Tithing Blade already. No Prismatic Strands, which is nice. Another Thrilling Discovery. Okay. Get that value in the bin. Bring back Sacred Cat. Sure. Might as well just use the Tithing Blade now. Just so I have something to sacrifice to this Deadly Dispute. and now they can't battle Screech and Flashback. Not that it really matters, because I can just crit rats, but I think I'm gonna cycle this. Miss Phantom Arrow. Let's kill the Inspector. I'm fine with this surviving for now. Another Defile. Okay, so we'll just get another basic Swamp. I'd rather keep the Witch's Cottage for the crit rats. So they're probably gonna battle Screech, which hopefully shouldn't matter because I've got the crit rats to deal with it. Yep. Yeah, I could have defiled this, but I don't think there was much of a point. Alright, so I've only got one up, which shouldn't matter. They can Ramosian Rally, so I might I'll do the crit rats for 2, so they can't Ramosian Rally me. So now that I've got 2 crit rats, I think I'm just gonna Witch's Cottage, put the troll on top. I don't need to do it for the crit rats anymore, and I'm just gonna do it for 2 now, so they can't strands me next turn. Looting. Cool. That means they've got nothing. They got a Sacred Cat. Okay. Which, that doesn't really matter to me. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll cycle this again. And I think I'm just going to pass. Take 1. Veteran's fine. Alright, let's offering this treasure token. It's a Drown in Sorrow, which is pretty handy. And I think I'm just going to dispute this map token. Cool, alright. Now, what does one do with all of this? I guess just Tithing Blade. Like, I should probably start applying some amount of pressure. I think I'm fine with taking 1. Yep. Spinning Darkness. Okay, well, let's just crit rats and pass. Or do I hit a land drop? Oh, I'll hit a land drop. I can always bring it back with the Blood Fountain. I'll just do it for 1. Another cat. Let's bring back rat and troll. One, two, three, four, five. And that'll do. So now the Sacred Cat's not really doing anything. So it hits me for one, then I drain them for one. Hits the Squadron Hawk. We're going to play a Polar Squadron Hawks. Nope. Okay. I think I'm fine. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, now I can play this. Because if they have the journey, I at least have the Deadly Dispute to deal with it. Okay, so now we sack it in response. So now they have to journey one of their own creatures. Which is always hilarious. Oh, Squadron Hawk. Yeah, we're fine. Another crit rats. So they've lost one lightning bolt. So I think I'm just gonna play Jukabog. Yeah, we'll play Jukabog. We'll get rid of that rally. And then we'll play crit rats. The only thing I gotta worry about is 3 lightning bolts. Oh, maybe, yeah, I probably should have, like, used the crit rats and then exiled the Sacred Cat. Yep. And a Squadron Hawk. We're just gonna keep 2 creatures out at all times. Uh, I'll keep it all. I'll get rid of the Sacred Cat. I'll take 1 from the Inspector. Got 7 cards in hand. Not entirely sure what they're looking for. Okay, well, now we've got a win condition, so... Should have brought in, like, maybe a Deglammer. I think I'm just going to leave this Swamp to discard to the Blood token. Goodbye, plains. Journey. Well, that was obviously coming. Let's discard this swamp. Yeah, nothing. Sure. Bolt. Okay, so we'll defile this. And we'll cast down this. So they can't. They can prismatic strands the spinning darkness, so. Squadron Hawk. To another Squadron Hawk. To Battle Screech. Okay. To flash it back. Alright. I think I crit rats here. There's nothing worth... I'm better off just trying to find another... Oh, that works. Oh, well, not really, but... So, 1, 2, 3. I'll do it for 5. Yeah, and I'll play a swamp. And I can Blood Fountain back. 2 things if I need to. Is it Rally? Yeah, because I don't have to worry about lightning bolts. They're not burning me out. But they're running out of cards to actually win the game. Like, maybe they sighted out all their prismatic strands. Oh, there's a prismatic strands. So I'm not entirely sure what they've got left. So let's just... I'll just bring back both crit rats. Let's just go the draw card route. Could drown in sorrow, but I think I want to make them use this prismatic strands. So they can strands. Oh, Remosian Rally. So now I do it for 2 again. Then they strands. And I do it for 2 again. Then I take 6. Which isn't fantastic. Yeah, I'll let them strands. Because then I can just do it on their turn anyway. Just do it now before they can get a strands in the graveyard. Yeah, I don't think they have any. I don't think they have any win conditions left. So the power of sweepers manages to get rid of bully. This is why I don't like playing bully because there's so many gardens players out there. So yeah, good times. One more to go. Let's see if we can go 2-1. All right, and the last deck we've got is Grixis Affinity. So this is I've played this list sort of a couple of times. So I played the Madness Affinity deck and the Kenku Control deck from a couple of weeks ago. So they're all sort of the same thing. So it's pretty much just like a blue-black based control deck with some red for sort of nice removal pieces, sideboard, and just you've got some free 4/4s in amongst all your control stuff, right? So 20 lands. So this deck is the latest from Luffy, Luffy du Chapu di Palha. They play literally nothing else, nothing else but Grixis. That's a lie. They played some blue-white Affinity at some point, but this is their deck. So if you ever want to play Grixis Affinity, just look at their lists and probably copy the last lot. So this is their most recent list. I did make a couple of changes. So they had 3 Clark Clan Shaman. I swapped 1 for a Candy Trail, and they had 3 Somber Hoverguard. I swapped 1 for a Thoughtcast. And and they had a Mephetic, the black Echo Wellspring. I cannot remember what it's called. But I swapped that for another Thoughtcast. And those are the only changes I made. So let's talk about... So we'll just go from left to right, I guess. So pile of lands, running 1 swamp in case we steal the initiative or they have Cleansing Wildfire. We're also running like a lot of black, so that's why it's the swamp, not any other color. So we're running just blue, black's our main colors. So we're running the four full of Mistvault Bridge. So we're running technically 4 Vault of Whispers, one of which is a swamp. 4 Seed the Synod. Yeah, not running as many like untapped lands as we can, but we are running just enough. We got to try to fix our colors, right? So 4 Blood Fountain. So we've got 9 creatures, but the Blood Fountain's mainly there to have access. So it's the same as Gardens, where you need to have access to just things to sacrifice for the dispute targets. So Blood Fountain gives you 2, right? So it's the best thing to do. It's also great insurance because it gives you more 4/4s. So the whole goal is just to get Mirren Forces out and keep cycling through those. It also goes well with the other 1-drop, which is Clark Clan Shaman. So Clark Clan Shaman is our sweeper. Some of these decks are now running Breath Weapon, but Clark Clan Shaman is just the best. Sure, it can't kill flyers, so unlike the bully deck where this wouldn't have been that great, it's probably going to be good against whatever they've got now, which is hopefully mono red. Yeah, it's also, you can also just like sacrifice Echo Wellsprings to draw cards, sacrifice itself. So it's a removal spell you can bring back with Blood Fountain, right? It's pretty cool. And you can also do funky tricks like sacrifice all the things, like put all the triggers on the stack, and then sacrifice it to the Deadly Dispute to draw the cards, because it's going to die anyway. Yeah, not much else to say there. Candy Trail. I have been really liking Candy Trail in this sort of deck. It just helps smooth things out. It gains you the life that you need to just stabilize, because this deck does take its sweet time with all these tap lands. So just being able to gain 3 life after taking off those couple of early turns is pretty good. Scry 2 isn't that shabby, and yeah, drawing a card later when you need it, but it just leaves you an artifact in play to help make your Mirren Forces and all these Affinity for artifact cards cost less, while sifting through your draws at the start. Like, it's a great early turn play. If not, it costs 3 mana. It's a 3 mana Limbus. Scry 2, draw a card, gain 3 life. It's in the late game. I'm sort of tempted to go up to 4, but I don't know what else to cut. Uh, what else we got? Removal Suite. Forecast down. Seems weird that there's forecast down in Affinity. Usually they used to run for Galvanic Blast, but we're only just sort of splashing red, so cast down just hits more things as well. Seems fair, I guess. Our sack suite of Deadly Dispute and Reckoner's Bargain. So really want Reckoner's Bargain in this list, not like the Gardener's deck that wants to run the other one that makes the map token that I've already forgotten the name of, because of Mirror Enforcer. So this gains you. So they're going to kill Mirror Enforcer all the time, right? So you can sack it, gain 7 life, draw 2 cards. Card's nuts when it gains you 7 life. It's like Pulsive Marasa on steroids. Deadly Dispute's Deadly Dispute. Card's still good. I don't know, a 1 of Tithing Blade, just as another removal spell and another thing to sacrifice. 1 Makefish Munitions. Running all these artifact lands, it's just a helpful way to kill them late game. It just gives you inevitability. It's also good against a pile of X1s like Core Gate and whatnot. Wellspring. So this deck wants to run Wellspring and not Lembas, unlike Gardens, because of just the... You just need more card draw. We've got Reckoner's Bargain to gain us life, plus the Candy Trail. So we just want more cards, which Wellspring provides. We could maybe add Limbus as well, but just need a pile of cards. 1 Kenku. Thought about going up to 2, but 1's all you really need. Can probably put another 1 on the board if you want to try to deal with more. When I played the Kenku deck, there was a lot of things that actually could deal with the artifact land, like Journey to Nowhere, Defile, and whatnot. So it's not as good as it used to be. It's still pretty good, though. Still good as a 1 of... You can always sack it to gain 3 life with Reckoner's Bargain. 3 Metallic Rebuke. So this is the reason why you run Grixis Affinity, is because of Rebuke. So just having a 1-mana counter spell. Man, my decks overlap a lot, don't they? It's the Mirror Enforcer Rebuke deck or the Deadly Dispute Blood Fountain deck, right? Yeah, you can always change it to a different counter spells that do more in the sideboard, but as it stands, it's, I don't know, a good card to have main. 3 Thoughtcast, which Luffy was only running 1, and it's the main reason why you want to run Affinity, right? So I've knocked it back up to 3. I can argue going back up to 4. It's a 1-mana draw 2. I don't understand why you don't want more of those. And Mirror Enforcers, that's a staple. I've already talked about many. Somber Hoverguard is the other weird one. So I'm not usually a fan of Somber Hoverguard, but I can see the appeal. So it's there instead of Gear Seeker Serpent, right? So you probably... Gear Seeker Serpent, you need 6 mana for it to actually be able to get through, because they're probably just going to be chumping with things on the ground. And this deck does seem to have issues with, like, you've got Carcass Shaman, right? So it deals with things on the ground. You've got Mirror Enforcers, deals with things on the ground. You just have nothing that deals with, like, Squadron Hawks or Fairies or stuff in the air. So that's where Somber Hoverguard comes in. It deals with all of those. It deals with all X1 creatures. It can even trade with a Core Skyfisher. It can trade with a Glint Hawk. And then you can bring it back with a Blood Fountain. I can see the appeal. Still unsure if I like it. We're giving it a shot, because Luffy knows more than I do. Sideboard. Blasts. We are running 5 Pyros, 3 Hydros. So this deck seems to go bad against Mono Blue Terror, which is why you'd need this many. Cast the Fire and Gorilla Shaman for artifact decks. Cast of Fire can also do splash damage to fairies if you need it to. More Clan Shamans is more sweepers, and Blue Elemental Blast for burn decks, obviously. So, yep. That's how this day goes, and let's see how it goes. Alright, and I'm on the play. Yes, I would like to go first. This is pretty slow, but we will still keep, because we have 3 lands, and lands seem to be the hardest thing for Affinity to get. And we're a control deck anyway, so I expect it to be slow, except I think they're on mono red. So maybe I shouldn't have kept this. Alright, next turn I can play a Mirror Enforcer or... Oh, so I can... Yeah. So I can only do one thing next turn. Implement, okay. Candy Trail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, well, I'm definitely playing Candy Trail. Deadly Dispute Swamp. So if they sack... So next turn I have to cast down this thing. I think I just want the swamp. And then I can, like, Candy Trail into the Deadly Dispute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can either play Mirror Enforcer or hold up Metallic Rebuke. Which I think I hold up Metallic Rebuke because I don't know how I deal with a Rebirth if they play it. And next turn I have an untapped land, so I can play Enforcer. Enforcer, hold up Rebuke. That's fine. I think I... Do I counter that? I'll counter that. It's probably not... Because if they've got a Rebirth... That made that worse. But that just does a lot of damage. Cool, they didn't have a Rebirth. Alright, take 5. And now I can play Mirror Enforcer. And pass. Synth is quite annoying. I think I gotta counter that, right? Just gives them too much value. Yeah. They shouldn't be able to kill the Mirror Enforcer. So I'll at least get a block off with it. Gain 3 off the Candy Trail. Candy Trail's been quite good in Grixis Affinity. Here I am with 2 Metallic Rebuke decks. Metallic Rebuke's so annoying to play against. Like, I've only got 1 card left, so they wouldn't think it'd be too much, right? So I think they attack with everything? No, okay, well, in that case, I'm killing it. Because it's the biggest threat. And now the red deck has more cards than me. But I got a Candy Trail in place, so we're looking okay. And a Deadly Dispute to draw. What else you got? Ooh, we're killing the Mirror Enforcer. Nice, okay. Alright. That's fair. But I hit another one anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is free. Alright, now we crack Candy Trail. Get another Mirrored Forcer. Alright, that's some Luffy-esque draws right there. And I'll keep this land in hand. Make him think I've got something. Nothing? Cool. Let's attack with both. And then bring back the last one. Play it. Last one is fine. Tomb Raid is fine. Alright, that's a good card to draw. Into a Candy Trail. Cool, alright. Let's see what I was going to scry into. I was going to scry into a Wellspring, which I couldn't draw, but I would have just drawn. I would have attacked with 2 Mirror Enforcers to keep one back. They would have had to block 1 with this. But the fact that I was gaining 3 meant I've negated one of these, so yeah, there wasn't much they could do. Alright, so for this, we bring in Blue Elemental Blasts and the Clark Clan Shamans. We take out Hover Guard, Tithing Blade, do I take out a Rebuke? I guess so. And I think that'll probably... Well, bring in Blue Elemental Blast, so like it's just better than Rebuke, right? Oh, and there's a Gorilla. Oh, we don't need Gorilla Shaman against them. They only run 4 artifact lands and that's it. Cast into the Fire is tempting, but the things I want to kill have 2 toughness, so we'll just leave it like this. And I cannot keep this. Keep this, though. This is pretty good. What to put back, though? Alright, well, I've got to keep this. Maybe put back a Thoughtcast? Cast down doesn't seem... Maybe I put back the cast down, and I hope to just hit a Parkland Shaman. Alright, well, Elemental Blast is helpful. Tomb Raider. Take 3. Blast Runner, okay. So I can Candy Trail. So like Shaman, I just need to sacrifice 2 things, right? So I can make it the Candy Trail and a land. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. And then hopefully the Candy Trail nets me a land, which it doesn't. But the Blood Fountain nets me 2 artifacts for free. So I think I take that. So then I 2 for 1 myself, but I sweep their board clean. No land? 1 time? Cool, alright. Sweet, that's good for me, because I'm just going to play this into Shaman, into just sack this in this. So now I can keep up 1, 2, 3, 4. Can keep up Blue Elemental Blast. Can Candy Trail. Do I just bolt this? Does that mean? I'm gonna do it. We'll see what they hit. Oh, Galv Blast. They can actually cast it. Alright, I'm gonna crank this. That's a pretty good draw, actually. So now I can play this. Play the Thought Cast. Hope to hit a land. Which I don't. Yep. Alright, well, Thought Cast again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna keep up Deadly Dispute. Or Reckoner's Bargain, actually. Seal of Fire is fine. Alright, well, let's Deadly Dispute this blood token. Cool. Alright, I want to sacrifice this Mirror Enforcer, so I'm going to tag with it now. Just so I can gain 7 life. And draw a pile of tap lands, which is exactly what I wanted. That's fine. Chain Lightning. I don't think it really matters. I'm just gonna sack this treasure. Wellspring's okay. Blood Fountain. Into Wellspring. There we go. The Mirror Enforcer, which is what I want to see. I've got a treasure up, so I can't just play tap land. Pass. And from here, I don't know what they do. Alright, well, I'll just go with the route I did last time of attack with Mirror Enforcer, sack it to Reckoner's Bargain, gain a pole life, or bring them both back. Play them both. Do I play Clan Shaman as well? As well. And if they try and seal the fire, I can sack the Wellspring to kill their Epicure. GG. Alright, that's... So, yeah, they can't handle the sweepers. So usually, like, all the decks that Lufia run usually run 3 Clan Shaman, mainly for this matchup would be my guess. I don't see this matchup enough to warrant having 3. I thought 2 was fine, so having the extra 2 in the sideboard is really brutal. So, yeah. Well, I might wrap this up in a bit, just because I like talking about things after time is done and not having this screen up, because this screen just looks awkward. Okay, so I'm too used to my own video format that I can't end this without like having a wrap up of what just happened. So let's go through each of the matches and how they ended up. So first off was Blue-White Affinity versus Blue-Black Fairies, or Blue-White Glitters, I guess. So I had some... The first hand was really awkward, where I only had 2 creatures the entire time and then drew all the glitters. The fact I had 2 rebukes did help, but the fact I couldn't actually cast them while casting the glitters was the issue, I think. If I hit just like another card draw spell or a Frogmite or something, just to be able to keep putting the pressure on while holding up the counter spells, then I think I had a decent chance. But as it was, like, having to tap my Ginger Brute to counter their removal spell, and then it died to a Snuff It anyway, that was pretty brutal. The second game went as most Glitters decks do. They just ran out of cards. The fact that I had to hardcast a Ninja showed that they didn't hit any fairies to be able to promote their early game, so to speak. And then game 3, they hit an early Augur, which stopped my Ninja from doing anything, and then I just got stonewalled. I didn't hit a Glitters to be able to like punch through, but I think they had Counterspell in hand the entire time anyway. So the matchup seems fine. You've just got to hope to like beat down early, as this deck always does. You've got the Rebukes to be able to counter what you need. It's just if they draw more than like 1 Snuff Out. Snuff Out is the main issue. So the fact that they can just counter anything without having mana up is the problem. So you just got to hope they don't draw Snuff Out. You do what you usually do and have Rebuke up for their counter spells, or the Snuff Out if they manage to draw them. Otherwise, yeah, deck's still pretty sweet. I mean, we got a win against them, so that's fine. Not much to say about the sideboard because it was irrelevant against that matchup. So, well, the Obsidian Acolytes were fine, but the fact that they die to Arms of Adar and Dust to Fumes is not great. But it is what it is. Yeah, deck's still good. I don't know if Jeskai is better. You just got more sort of like having Glint Hawk seems good against fairies because you have more ways of blocking the 1/1s. But I still like blue-white. It just feels very clean. On to match 2, which was Gardens versus Boris Bully, which is like I play Boris Bully fairly frequently, and my god, do I despise that matchup so much. It feels like the worst matchup you could possibly have. So I feel bad that that's the one that I managed to go up against with the Gardens deck. But hey, that's the matchup lottery for you. So they just can't do anything. Like, they definitely can do nothing against Drown and Sorrow. So, like, as soon as sideboarding, like, the fact that I lost game one, so that's how Bully wins, right? So it shows that Bully can win that matchup, even though it is unfavorable. You just gotta, like, hit your Battle Screech into Rally, right? If they don't have the sweeper, they don't have the sweeper. There's nothing I can do about it. So you have to aim for that. You can't sort of play around. Like, you could see what GN was doing in game 3, where it just kept putting 2 threats out. So, like, I'd have to either use a sweeper on 2 threats or 2 spot removal spells, right? It just doesn't work. Even though it sort of looked like it was working, but if you looked at, like, my cards in hand, you noticed I always had enough answers for whatever they had at that point. You pretty much just got to dump whatever you can at the start. If they have the sweeper, they've got it, and then you just move on to the next one. There's not really much you can do. This version of the deck seemed fine. Like, I like the default version. I like just having instant speed interaction that costs 1 mana. Yeah. Don't really know. Like, I've covered probably most of this in the deck tech. I haven't done the deck tech yet. I'm gonna do that after. Sometimes, well, in that game 1, I guess I was sort of wishing I had more sacrifice fodder, but every other game it was fine. The deck probably has enough. I just was unlucky in that instance. The bog sometimes is a bit awkward. You could also see that in game 1, where it's I guess it's handy against some matchups. Like, we're playing against Bully, but it didn't really matter that much. I would have preferred it to be a swamp to be able to just turn on Defile a bit more. Otherwise, I mean, the deck is just a pile of removal spells plus emblems, so what you gotta do is just keep killing things, resolve an emblem, and then just keep killing things. And that's how the deck works. Which is very good against a red-white deck with alright card advantage, but no other way to win other than beating you down. And then round 3, which we got 2-0, which was nice. Affinity versus Mono Red. So, like, Mono Red's always been sort of hit or miss against most other decks. Like, you just gotta... It's sort of like the Bully matchup where you gotta rush them down before they can control. Because this is pretty much just a control deck now. It's not any... It's got not that much aggression. Well, sometimes it does when you manage to, like, drop 3 Mirror Enforcers on turn 4 or whatever. But, so this version was worse, as I said at the end. Like, we probably should be, like, back up to 1 more Clan Shaman, maybe cutting a... I like the one of Tithing Blade. Maybe cutting a cast down. I think 3 cast downs is enough. And the stats is more removal anyway, so maybe this is better if you're expecting more red. But otherwise, I mean, Candy Trail. Candy Trail was MVP, right? So it gains us life. It set up the draw to be able to... So, like, on that game 2, where we managed to... Like, we had the Clan Shaman that we were going to cast next turn because of the tap red source, but then we're going to have to sacrifice 2 lands. The fact that we cast Candy Trail, saw the Blood Fountain on top, meant that, alright, now we've got the plan of just playing Blood Fountain plus Clan Shaman sweep for 2, right? So we 2 for 2 ourselves. Yeah, 2 for 1 ourselves. No, 2 for 3 them? I don't even know. There was a lot of cards exchanging side, going to the graveyard there, so... I really like Candy Trail in this. And, like, between Candy Trail, it just helps alleviate some of the amount of life gain that you're almost entirely relying on Reckoner's Bargain for. Somber Harvard never came out, so unsure if that's good. Metallic Rebuke was great. I'm still unsure of the Somber Harvard tech, but I mean, 1 blue is much easier to cast than blue of the Gearseeker Serpent, and having a fly is also pretty nice. So sideboard, I mean, it's hard to talk about a sideboard when you have to play against one match, right? So I mean, the Shamans did their job. That's what we brought them in for. And yeah, blow Elemental Blast if we needed it. We hit enough lands, which was nice. I think Keener Trail does help in that aspect as well. Just being able to make sure you hit those land drops, because you need to hit like 2 or 3 to be able to get this card draw engine going. So yeah, we won. We beat GN 2-1, which was pretty good. After that poor start with the, I guess all the aggro decks lost, right? So Glitter's lost to Fairies, which is more of a mid-range deck. Gardens, which is control, beat Boris Bully, which is sort of mid-range aggro. And then, yeah, so maybe aggro is in a bad spot. Maybe we just didn't play Jeskai Glitters. Maybe Jeskai Glitters is really the main deck to beat. Don't know. But anyway, hope you enjoyed me playing some more mainstream decks for a change. Even though I have played like a decent amount of Affinity different decks, but yeah, I have not played Glitters. I played a weird Jeskai Glitters at one point, I guess, and Gardens, and I played one of Black Control. So I played sort of offshoots of all of these, but never these actual decks that people have tuned the right amount of cards for. So yeah, hopefully this is a little different. Hopefully you get to watch GN side as well and just get some insight between how we play these decks. And yeah, I'll see you for more regular content next week.